Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mindset Model podcast. As always, it is a delight to have you here today. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since I have recorded a podcast because, of course, it is summer. It is Leo season, and I've just been celebrating my 39th birthday for a whole damn week. Of course, all that Leo energy, being an absolute queen, of course, I'm going to be celebrating for a week. So I've had the most amazing time. Now, normally on my birthday, I would have some sort of party, some sort of big event, something like that. But this year, I just wanted to really do some little wholesome, magical, gorgeous activities, which just felt really, really good. And I'm so pleased that I did because normally I would go down the people pleasing route of what would everyone else want? Maybe I'll do this. And I was like, no, no. This year, we're just going to do some really lovely little things. So, such as I had my grandma round for a tea party. She sat outside in the garden and was giving my guinea pigs a hug. How wholesome is that? We had delicious food. I went out with my husband for an incredibly delicious luxury lunch date in the Cotswolds. I live in the Cotswolds, but just must have been about 20 minutes away from where we live. So there wasn't any extreme crazy traveling involved, which I would normally do. I went out for cocktails with our friends, which was really nice, just at our local pub. They've just started doing the best cocktails ever. So give me those margaritas, give me those Hugo Spritz. It was just beautiful. And then little things like going out for coffee with my best friend and having a catch up, going to our local coffee shop, which has just opened, getting myself a delicious cookie just fresh out of the oven, walking down to the stream and just eating it, mindfully listening to that beautiful water. I know I have just been living my best life and it has been incredible. So, anyway, we are back. We have just got a couple of weeks left of August, taking a little bit more of a slower pace because it's really important for people, especially entrepreneurs, people which love to work bloody hard, to slow down a little bit. And the sort of theme about this episode, you know that I love to share with you teachings and learnings that I've had, what I've been picking up on. I have the incredible privilege of being part of amazing communities where I really pick up on, what's happening in the world, what do people need to hear, what mindset shifts can I really help you, my beautiful mindset model listeners, to tap into. So, three shifts for you today. The first one is defining your version of success. So, the theme of this whole episode is about taking the pressure off because what I've noticed, a lot of people are really, really pressurizing themselves into pushing harder, being more, chasing, chasing, chasing. And there is no universal there is no universal what word am I looking for? That's it, definition. There is no universal definition of success. So let me say that again. There is no universal definition of success. So, what that means is stop chasing something which is not in alignment with you. Your version of success, what does that look like? So I've been having conversations with clients, people in my community groups who have been absolutely pushing themselves to burn out, myself included, because we have been chasing and putting pressure on what we think success looks like, what we should be doing. And Kathleen Cameron, who is one of my mentors, she teaches something which is about the surrender, the release, the letting go, touching lightly rather than gripping tightly. Because when we are so passionate and excited about going for our dreams, goals, and desires, we get into this energy of I need it, I need it, I need it, which is such a repelling energy. And you just get so desperate that you end up just chasing your tail. But when you actually just say to yourself, do you know what? I'm doing all I can and that's it. It will happen when it needs to. If you detach, something magical happens and you will absolutely get everything you want. But a lot of us don't realize that we're doing this. So, anyway, going back into defining what success looks to you, this is particularly important because, especially nowadays, when we look at other people's versions of success, and we can really go down a rabbit hole of, oh, that person, they've got a house that looks like this. Maybe I should be going for that. Or they're in a certain type of relationship where they're doing all of these wonderful things and, going out for dinners and traveling the world and things like that. And then you're like, oh my God, why am I not doing that? Why are we not doing this in our relationship? And, career, for example, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I have to be that person that's climbing the ladder and being like a manager of this or even in your business when you're like, oh my gosh, why have I only got this amount of clients and this person's got that amount? Or why am I not hitting 50K months and all of these things? But do you actually want those things? Or are you just looking at other people and being like, oh my God, to fit in, I need to have those things? And this is why questioning is so important. So, say, for example, I've really, really gone in and reflected on what my version of success is, and it has kind of adapted over the last 5 years, where I have been very much in my egoic human mind, where it's all been about success looking a certain way and seeking validation from other people because on paper I look amazing. When actually I don't really want to have a hustle, full on busy life. I don't particularly want to be going out every night, socializing, partying, and things like that, because that's just not me. But that's what I thought that I had to do. So, success for me looks like freedom. And I'm living success right now because I have got so much freedom in my life to create and do the things that I absolutely love. So I feel so successful. Success looks like to me slow mornings. Every morning, I probably sit in bed for about 45 minutes to an hour with my espresso, looking out the window, just meditating, relaxing, or doing fuck all. Isn't that wonderful? That is a huge success because there was a time when I couldn't do things like that because I was putting so much pressure on myself to be productive, get up, go to the gym, do some of your study work, come home, do this, and it was just mad. But now that I've redefined what success looks like to me, that feels so good in my body. Um, I mean, I do love traveling, but it's really funny because people look at, I don't know, like influencers on Instagram and they're traveling all over the world. But what you don't see is how fucking hard traveling is on your body. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be that person that goes all over the world. Like I'm away every single week and I'm this and I'm that. And then I've had a taste of that and I'm like, ooh, that is It's a lot. It's a lot. Waiting in airports, which I love. I do love going to the airport and, you just having a coffee, getting all excited to get on the flights and things like that. But doing that every day or every single week is a lot on the body. And, constantly being out in different cities, different countries, just didn't feel in alignment for me. So, yes, I love to travel, but not as frequent as I thought I wanted. So, I was looking at other people's vision boards and dream boards and being like, maybe I should have that. That's for me. Tried it, and I was like, it's a firm fuck no. Let's just go with a few really luxury trips a year and then having that time to really ground myself, be in my home, because I love my home so much. So, redefining what success means to you. Maybe that means to you, you want to spend more time with your family. Maybe it means that you want to spend more time going out for coffee or lunch with your friends. Or you want to spend more time just being with you, having a hobby, creating a space where you feel your best self. So, redefining what success means to you. That is the first mindset shift for you today, my loves. So, the next thing is turning comparison into possibility. Oh, now comparison. This is a huge thing for most humans. So, back in the day when we were, I don't know, cave men and women, we would have our tribes and we would constantly compare ourselves to other people in the tribe, so that we could, go up the ranks and, all of that stuff. And that's very much a primal instinct that we still have to this day, because if you did not perform in the tribe, or if you didn't fit in, or if people didn't really like what you were doing, you would be thrown out and then you would die. So we very much have that belief still in our mindset. Now, that is not necessarily going to happen this day and age, but we still compare ourselves to others. So there's two things within this. We have got a very prehistoric way of thinking and comparing ourselves to people, which is very outdated to the world we live in now. And the second thing, the biggest thing, which is literally throwing people off, is we are no longer comparing ourselves to our little tribe. We're comparing ourselves to the whole fucking world. Yes. So social media, which we love, but also constantly comparing ourselves to billions of people all over the world, what they're doing. And it is making us feel so inferior, so like we're left behind, so like we're not good enough, we're not working hard enough. And it's sending a lot of people into a mad frenzy down the rabbit hole of what the fuck is this life? So, we're going to reframe this because comparison is good, but only if you are using it in a way to elevate. Setting it is like a something for you to strive for, but in an energy of that is possible for me. I would love to do that one day, rather than being, why can't I do that? That's not possible for me, and I'll never be able to do that. Can you really feel the difference in that? When you see somebody doing something and you're like, wow, that looks incredible, that is genuinely your soul saying to you, you would love to do that, and it is possible for you. But this is just giving your consciousness something to strive for, something to go for in your life. Because as humans, we love to have those goals, dreams, and desires, because it's what gives us purpose. It what makes us want to live our lives, to grow and expand and be the best versions of ourselves. So using comparison as a benchmark in a good way. Now, the final thing is building a life you don't need to rush through. Now, this is something that I was talking about with a couple of my friends, where we are just constantly rushing, rushing, rushing. We need to get to the next thing. We need to get to the next thing. And I, especially over the last couple of weeks, have taken such a step back and really intentionally telling myself, why am I trying to rush through to this? Why am I rushing for this next bit? Do I need to rush? And sorry, the excitement of rushing, bear with me a second. Mm, water, so good. Oh my goodness. Anyway, rushing, slow down. So, how many times a day do you catch yourself rushing to go to the appointment, rushing yourself to book in for the next trip, rushing yourself to answer every single email in your inbox, rushing to get through the to-do list, constantly, constantly on? Instead, switching your life so you are, of course, doing those tasks that you need to, but doing them mindfully and not putting that pressure on yourself to get every single thing done at once. It really does help. So, what you could do here, if you have got a spare half an hour or even a day, have that as a mindful day. Have that as a day where you do not rush. You just do things at your own pace. And if you allow yourself to have time to do this, you will really help to elevate your frequency, elevate your energy. You will have such clearer thoughts. You'll regulate your nervous system, and everything will make so much more sense. And then I have just got one final story to tell you today because this is really funny. I think, which one would this go into? Probably the comparison. So I say that I've been really sort of like slowing down over the last couple of weeks. It's because I found myself a couple of weeks ago just absolutely losing my head. I was like, oh my God, I need to do 10,000 things at once. I'm in a position at the moment where I've got the most incredible corporate career as the brand experience and education expert, which I love. But also, I'm trying to grow a business, trying to grow my brand. Doing both at the same time, I found is a bit of a challenge. And I found myself pushing, 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 pushing. And it has just been making me very burnt out, which is not the vibe we're going for. And then when I took a little bit of a step back from, building the brand, I felt really sad. I was like, oh, my beautiful business, it's just there, wasting away, telling myself this ridiculous story. And then I was like, nope. What are you doing? So, again, that awareness, questioning those thoughts that come in, I was like, let's have a look at the figures. Let's have a look at the numbers. Is what I'm saying in my head actual fact? Let's have a look. Now, phase one in my business, this is all about brand awareness, but also creating proof and evidence that people need this brand. People want to have help with confidence and self-image and mindset. So I had a little look at all of my platforms, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, my Instagram, my podcast, all of the things. Did some calculations, and every single platform has, like, I can't even put it into words. Altogether, all of my platforms have gone up by 214%. That is mad. I was like, no. And it's not just, obviously, it's brilliant to have that growth, that followers, the subscriptions, but it's also the engagement that I'm getting from people as well, which is amazing. So that made me feel so good. And it proved to me that people really do need this messaging. So if you are in a similar position at the moment where you're trying to grow brand, trying to grow a business, you're getting a bit frustrated because the only metrics you're looking at is money, have a look at the other metrics, have a look at the other impact that you're making. If you can just inspire one person to be the best version of themselves or to do something different and really, elevate their lives, just that one person, you are doing an amazing job. And really, really give yourself like a huge congratulations, because when you do that and really focus on the amazing stuff that you're doing and just don't focus on all the stuff which doesn't feel as good, this really helps you along that journey. So just wanted to share that little story. So before I end this podcast, I've got a very exciting announcement for you. Woohoo! The Mindset Model podcast will be opening its doors once again to its guest speakers. I'm so excited. So I have got some amazing speakers in the pipeline, two already confirmed. So I won't give too much away, but one of my absolute queens who's coming onto the show lives on the other side of the world. She is the most amazing artist and she's got the most inspiring story that I cannot wait for you to all listen to. I'm just obsessed. And then we have another gorgeous queen who is really into the spiritual, ritualistic, cacao, yoga, like all of those wonderful, glorious well-being areas within life as well, who again has an amazing story, a stunning energy, and then a couple of other guests in the pipeline as well. So stay tuned because the next episode, the next couple of episodes are going to be, they're just going to blow your mind, and I cannot wait for it. So that's enough of me wittering on today. I hope you found that helpful and you are going to go out there and live your absolute best life.